Hello everyone and welcome to the 6th round of the Grand Prix Classics Championship. Today my name is Vindex and today we are driving around the Monza Grand Prix circuit, and as you can see we have a big full grid today. We're looking at despite how full this grid is, really only proper new driver here, named Daniel Gilligan from the UK. He will be driving for McLaren today, and as you can see, not so much off the pace. I did see him earlier. I think he's quite a cautious driver maybe, although now that I've seen him send it through Ascari, I think I'm gonna have to adjust that judgment of him a little bit. Doesn't look so cautious anymore. Yeah, he's the only new driver today, driving for McLaren, and otherwise we have such a big list to go through today, and there are so many interesting things to say about all of these drivers. We have a quick press conference earlier today, only with Cavalo and Dustin, two very prominent SSR members. Cavalo here in the red for Ferrari, for his home, in front of the home crowd, in front of the Tifosi, essentially. Now, he currently 10th in the championship. Honestly, a very good place to be, considering just how incredibly strong this grid is. Hoping to fight for fourth in the championship. Third is a bit ambitious, but fourth place is only 10 points away. That is, what, 7 spots ahead? And it's within reach, not impossible. A little bit of luck, especially with how crowded the midfield is possible. But it's going to be difficult. Admittedly, he has a little bit of a pace disadvantage to other drivers, especially to his teammate, who is right here. The other Ferrari, who is immediately going back into the pits, camera shy a little bit. Yeah, won the last race, is trying to make it 2 in a row and trying to make it a fight for the championship. First he has to catch up to this man in the Lotus, Domska, currently 2nd in the standings, and well, he's probably looking towards prolonging his title. Of course, he is still the reigning champion, but he is 10 points behind, specifically 10 points behind this man, the Crow, his teammate, who has been astonishing this season. He's got 3 second places to his name, 2 wins, and that's all the races. There's only 5 races, in fact. Only 5 races before now, a total of 8. You can see the calendar of that. Spanish, Canadian and Belgian Grand Prix. He got those second places for the German Grand Prix and the British Grand Prix. He was very strong and managed to win those back to back. Last time around, beaten by, I think, the man he's fighting with, Statue. Is that Statue? No, it's not Statue. Is it that? Is that? Hang on. That is Cavalo. Yes, well done, Cavalo. Maybe lower fuel, maybe the pace deficits were greatly exaggerated. Audicrow has a problem, but we'll talk about it in a bit. Why could there be a problem? Well, I'll tell you why later. Who else do we have? Oh, there's so many people. We have, very quickly, we're doing a lightning round. We have Silver, who has been pretty consistent, a little bit difficulty with this car. As you can see, all the tilt is so twitchy. That is the way this car is, but this Silver is, Edward Silver is about to, able to control it relatively well. His teammate is a lot faster. We'll get to him. Cavalo, of course, I talked about him, and the Crow, the man currently struggling to fight him, will be having a little bit of dirty air and DRS training. We'll be happy with that. Ultimate Kaiser, he runs a sim racing group called Moisty Sim Racing, I believe, MSR. Also, very quick driver of his own right. Hasn't quite got the results yet this season, mostly because he's done 1 race, but maybe in this race he will be able to show what he's capable of more in a very, very strong grid. Gerald Smith, teammate of Dustin, and they're actually right behind each other. Camera's trying his very best. I thought it would be funny to leave it there. Garrett Smith, maybe not the season he wants so far. He is still P4 though. He's still best of the rest. But fighting for wins, I think, is more what both Red Bull drivers would be after. And this season doesn't seem to be possible. At least as far as we know. We've got Domi, who actually in this session has got a decent time. Overall, he definitely is struggling with the car a lot more than other people. We'll be trying to improve race on race. Yeah, I think that's the only Dutch driver on the grid. So definitely hope for him to go better or do better, because I'm Dutch myself. Then we've got Dmitry Petrov from Russia driving in the Mercedes team for the Mercedes team today. Reserve driver. Still hard to place. We still don't know where to place Dmitry, but we'll hopefully find out sooner rather than later. I would say, if anything, a little bit inconsistent, but yeah, hopefully he'll be able to control this car, tame it a little bit, and get something good out of it. I did see an improvement from someone, or sort of there was an improvement. I believe it is from this man in the pits, Notabene, driving for, I think it's the other Mercedes. He's improving for him. Very good. They've got somebody else in the pits, Sorrow, who has had a very tough couple of races, but has also shown a lot of promise. I think he peaked very early, and that makes him a little frustrated he's not able to repeat it. This is what they call a slump, and it is very much a mental struggle that everybody goes through. Hopefully he will be able to get through that and perform the way we know he can. Marcus is a very quiet driver who just puts in very good performances every time there is a race. Will not be, well, there he goes, big improvement. We'll not be seeing much of him, except for at the end where we'll realize, oh, by the way, he's 5th or something crazy like that. That's how Marcus normally drives. Not spectacular, but very good. Michael, I would say opposite, as in it is spectacular, but it's not like he's not good. He's very good. He's currently, I believe, 9th in standings, which, you know, 9th, that's not very good. No, it is actually quite good. The group here is so strong. P9 is definitely something to write home about. You're part of the group that can fight for 4th, so well done. I've got Velhorson, who is driving for, I think that's HRT. He's on my list, yes, HRT. Currently in the pits. Velhorson is from Hungary, fun fact. Not driving currently. Then we've got Dustin, organizer of this league, of course. Has not had the season he wanted. Currently P5 in the standings. Fighting his teammate for P4 and everybody behind him as well. Dustin will want to pick up a win, but said that today is unlikely to be the day he wins a race, because he hasn't had that much practice here. Practice around Monza is... We'll get back to that, maybe. Okay, I will forget if I don't get back to it right now. But... oh, I have left the calendar graph up, by the way. That is very good for you to say. In chat, if you are in chat, of course, say hello and help me and not forget things, because I don't see the graphics in front of my screen. Yeah, then we have... well, what I was going to say is practice in Monza is, yes, important because more practice tends to be better, but Monza, like most of the straight lines, you just need to have a decent setup, and if you have a decent setup, you just gotta figure out how to drive a couple of corners again. You're probably fine. It's one of the tracks where you can get away with a little less practice, but yeah. I'm hearing that Daniel's having big FPS drops in chat as well, from 226 to 224. That's devastating, and if he crashes, that will definitely be why. There will be nothing to doubt there. Brandes won the first race of the season. Yes, I'm correct in that. And ever since hasn't shown up most of the races. Hasn't quite had the same level of performance. I'm sure he will try to keep fighting for wins, but it will be tough for Brandes because of just how incredibly strong the Lotus team is right now. Statue seems to be dialed into this car a lot better, so he's had the early opportunities to get used to the car quickly and set some good times, set some good results, but now everybody seems to have caught up, and it's going to be difficult for Brandes to repeat his performance. of the first race. Then we've got Mercury for the Sauber team. Definitely a very strong driver, would be a lot better in terms of results if the grid wasn't that ridiculously strong. Yeah, Mercury is improving still getting used to the car, he admits, but absolutely doing a great job. Same for PC Finch, who currently isn't driving as well, but has been the most improving driver so far this season, I'm certain. In the first few races looked like a definite back marker, but last race I think they've closed the gap from 6, 7, 8 seconds to 2, which is a massive reduction. So just subtract another second and you're basically there. Yeah, that's the people we're dealing with. A big group. Sorrow now has the fastest time. Went for a bit of a glory run that I don't think anybody else has fought for so far. Still 5 minutes left in this practice session. If you have anything to say, any questions to ask, feel free to do that in the live Twitch chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, just do it in the comments. I'll be there. I'll get notifications. I'll answer. So yeah, go ahead. Noticing a couple of things. Well, Cavalo, of course, still up there. I don't know if that was a glory run. I don't know if that was with decent fuel. That's the nature of practice. You can't really look at a timesheet and have any idea of what's really going on. You see Daniel Gilligan roughly with the rest. I think he's got a bit more comfortable with well, how the rig feels right now. Maybe he's just settled up a little bit. I'm curious to see. Yeah, still a little cautious. With decent control of the car, and I think it's very important. New driver, of course, may have seen a couple of the streams, knows what his competition looks like, but hasn't actually driven with them yet. That is... that makes a big difference. Just seeing your competition and actually driving with them is two completely different things. Yeah, you're starting to interact with people on track, but also off track. Starting to have battles, wheel to wheel, little touches here and there, but also learning how people defend. There is quite a big variety in driving styles, mostly because, well, we're not professionals, mostly. I mean, I say we're not professionals. We've been extremely clean this season, so don't get me wrong. It's not like we keep crashing, we keep making big mistakes and everything is Looney Tunes. It's actually quite clean. And yeah, we only had like 2 safety cars this season. Last season we didn't have any, so yeah. Still, there's a big variety. There is a lot of ways you can cleanly fight. There's a lot of ways you can defend in a way that doesn't promote accidents. That can happen quite a bit. It's 33 laps, I believe. Yeah, I don't know where 25 came from. Might be last race actually it was 25, but I think it's 33. As far as I know, it's 33 on the inside there. Oh, and okay, the other person just disconnected, so it's not that impressive. Yeah, that was asking in chat. By the way, how many laps was it? It was 33. Now, see what else is interesting on this list. Well, let's see. Domska hasn't really set a time yet. Domska is keeping those cards close to his chest. Ultimate Gazer has now improved. Currently in P2. Pretty decent. I don't know what times they will be setting for qualifying though. Oh, is that true? I'm gonna actually quickly message Dustin. Okay, what I recommend for fellows on is if you are in the lobby, you can also see what is set as number of laps in the settings. So you've got the main screen when you're in the pits. You've got all the times of all the drivers. I think there's a tab where you can see the settings of the thing. It should say the number of laps in there. So that's the definitive amount of laps you should be doing. And I believe it should be set to 33. Because if it is 25, please do not overfuel until 33. But also, if it is 33, and Dustin said 25, if Dustin said 25 in the briefing and people are fueling up to 25, then we have a big problem. So that is definitely something we need to be looking at. And I might mute up to quickly look at what's going on there, because I do want to make sure that everything is set up correctly. So I'm gonna quickly mute up and ask people in the Discord. Alright, I've just confirmed it is 33. It was an error in the graphics for the briefing. They have a briefing, and then Dustin has some graphics, and he forgot to edit how many laps we're expecting for the race. So that's practice done. I'm going to quickly run a little bit of an ad before we get into the nitty-gritty of qualifying, although everybody's spinning. Quickly run an ad so that by the time the race comes around, we do not have to see an ad. That's the plan. All right, I'll see you in a bit. And for those who are subscribed, you will be still hearing me. Quickly see Marcus VR is actually fastest in the practice session. Interestingly, faster in sector 2 than the driver ahead, from what I could see. So, could be a very good omen for that man. Is Domska or Statue ahead? It's Statue that is ahead, so we'll look at Statue. Still got a minute until the ads are over for the people that are watching on Twitch. Hopefully Statue doesn't push too hard, so we have a proper... Oh, no, it's Domska. Okay. We have a proper intro for people. Yeah. That you notice, oh, my setup is wonk. I don't know. And now somebody else is ahead. Okay. I think that has to be Dustin. Notably, Dustin likes to be ahead. Likes to be the first to set a lap. So, we'll follow him around. The ads will wind down as well. We'll have everybody back. Grab some quick water, because once it's a quick lap, I'm gonna have to use my voice a lot. Alright, welcome back everyone. If you have been watching ads, you should be over now. And if you're coming in halfway through the sentence, then oops, Twitch messed up. This is where the lap starts. So, see Dustin really putting on the power here, because this is indeed where it starts, where you want to get a good exit speed, but the lap itself really doesn't start until here. So, there he goes. Turn 1. Very hard braking zone. You want to brake as late as you can, just to save a couple of tenths. You do want to go get a very good exit out of here. This costs you half a second if you don't get it correctly. It's a little bit of slipstream from his teammate Geralt. Very well timed. I'm not sure how intentional that is, but it works. And he's gonna have to move over. Oh, it will not be. Okay, well, maybe that works. And that, yeah, I think messes up Dustin a little bit. Tricky chicane on the best of times. And it's not even his teammate. This is a Lotus car. I think he will be very upset with that. Although he's gonna get slipstream here. through the Lesmos turns. I'm just gonna get to Ascari. Very difficult chicane. Going a little bit conservatively because you want to get a good exit out of here. You can normally mount those curves quite a lot, but I think Dustin is either setting up for another lap or just being very cautious. One of the two. We're a little bit unhappy, I think, with the Lotus ahead, and that's very understandable. He has to compromise through Parabolica, but now he has Slipstream DRS, and I think he might be using this for his next lap. No, he lets it be. Domska was the first to set a lap in the end. 121.95. He was actually on a lap, so I don't think he was unhappy with that at all. Mark is actually second so far, and Key is a third. Very good from these two. Michael in P5, because the Crow has set his lap time. 121.71. Very fast. Randers close behind Domska. Very, very close behind Randers still. Despite all of the... Oh, don't know what happened there. Domska is alive. Very good to see. And then what else do we have? Cavalo has set a 9th place lap time. As Gerald is still setting up for his lap. Velhoson across the line. 10th place for him so far. Ahead of Dustin. So Dustin... Well, he really messed up, I think we could see, so there's a lot to improve for him there. But it is a banker. PC Finn's currently 3 seconds off the pace, and Dummy a little bit behind that. These two are close, might find each other during the race. Gerald Smith has set a non-representative lap time, I think we could safely say. But apparently that was the lap he just kind of had to deal with. Silver, where does he end up? Was very high up in practice, very early. In the end, Marcus was fastest there. Silver. Well, let's see where he ends up in qualifying. So. Through the chicane he goes then, and up to the Lesmos. It looks so far pretty tidy. It's hard to say where he's going to end up. Looking at the grid, a lot of people haven't quite set lap times I think that they can be happy with. Gerald and Dustin being the main two, the two most guilty of that. Kiesa is in there with top 10. Very good of him. Holding the sneeze apparently, it wasn't coming out. So Silver through the last corner, Parabolica, very long corner, very interesting to see how much space people use. Silver a bit conservative there, very far on the inside to make the distance as short as possible. Across the line, where does he end up? P11. Okay, a little bit behind Velhoson. Not ages behind Cavallor as well, so those three very close together. Between Sorrow and Statue, there is not a lot, and I think Statue is the main standout here. I don't think that's the kind of time he wants to be setting in front of his home crowd. He should be motivated for better, and I believe he still has a world record on this track as well. So in this car, to be clear, right? World records on this track, in this car, in this game. So is he going to be able to improve? I don't know if it's going to be this lap, although it does look like he is pushing. Making the distance as short as he can. Across the line, where does he end up? Oh, it's an improvement. P5. Marcus is still faster. Marcus is doing a very good job here. Currently in P4. Still 8 minutes to go though. I'm not sure how relevant these times are. I believe they will improve. Track evolution is still a thing. When we say track evolution, we mean that as these drivers drive across the track, we'll go to Gerald because he is very far back. As people drive this track the rubber on their tire gets transferred to the track little by little. Like microscopic, essentially. But if enough drivers keep doing that, then it will create a little band of rubber across the track that's going to stick there. It has better grip with the tires, which makes the cars go faster. Gerald 137 on the timesheets. Should be a massive improvement here for him. Let's see what it ends up being. Across the line's a long run to that line, so that exit is still important in quali. A P9 time. That is... I don't know, I don't think that's good enough. Dustin then. I say not good enough. Like he's close. He's close to Kiesa, who's got Michael between him and Gerald. It's a tight-knit group. Statue being 5 tenths away from Dikra. Again, he will want to improve that. That's a pretty big gap. Dustin is the biggest standout right now. He is a top 10 driver, absolutely by pace. But his time is not representative of that. We did see his first lap time go up in flames, really, when he made the mistake in the second chicane for the Lesmos, and for the rest of it, he was stuck behind Domska, who had all the right to be there. So, very unfortunate run for him. Domska, despite that compromised run, I think, hasn't really, hasn't been that far back, so it was a decent run for him regardless. Dustin across the line. Is he going to improve, and by how much? And is it going to be good positions? P6 for him currently. That's a 122.342. Is he happy with that? I don't know. Marcus P2 quietly. Again, put in performances. Ahead of Randers, ahead of Domska, and had a statue as well. The Crow still P1, 121.7. One of few people said a 121 time, one of 4. Sorrow now also moves ahead of Statue. Statue dropping little by little. Randers also making his way around the last corner. Oh, but he makes a big mistake, and that is wide, and that run is gone. Marcus improving. Potentially. What's it gonna be for him? Ooh, that looks like a compromised run. I'm not sure if this is cool beans. Don't know if this is for an improvement or an outlap. Unfortunately, the game gives me very little information. Through Parabolica then. Last corner of the track, we'll want a good exit. Whether this is his actual run or if he's driving up to one, and judging by the line he takes, I think he's preparing one. So that was definitely not an improvement. Somebody knocked out the 100 board. That doesn't mess up Marcus. Does mess up his internet. So, through the third chicane then, can he improve, and can it be faster than the Crow, which would be quite an upset. Because the fact that he is in the assist team of the main Red Bull team generally doesn't mean anything. They all still have the same cars. All of these cars are able to perform just as good as every other car. It is just the driver that makes a difference here. All of these teams are, in a sense, purely for show, but also people actually that are in a team tend to work together. I know that the Lotus team works very well together. I know that the Red Bull team works together. Williams team works together. I believe all teams really work together. Try to get the best out of, well, what the teams can do. And there's also a battle in the back. Domi and PC Finch, both of them, very close together. That's a couple of hundreds between them. Hopefully they'll have a fun race together. That's my hope, and actually not that far off of Mercury, so they get a nice consistent run. They got something to fight for. Once we are across the line, is it going to be an improvement, and is it going to be P1? That's the big question. It is an improvement, but it's not good enough for P1. Might be able to defend P2 with that time. Ooh, and Sorrow is having a bit of trouble. Where is this even? Where hang on, where is he? That's the first chicane. Okay, he's messed up at the first chicane. But he can set up for another lap. Maybe he'll be okay. Statue is going across the line. It looks like he is finishing a run. He does, but I mean, it is an improvement, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough for Paul. The Crow still has a stranglehold on that. And we're running out of time for people to start a run. Domska's in the pits and Statue is also in the pits. They need to drive out now, or else they're not going to have any time at all. Statue is currently out. Domska is driving out. And I think for Marcus, it's the end. That's going to be P2 at best. He's going to try for another run, but I feel like it is too late. So everybody gets one more attempt. Domska and Statue will be one of the last drivers to be able to finish their run. Everybody that's currently in the pits will be staying there, as in that position. They might drive out of the pits, but will not be able to finish their run. Thomas through the last corner then. How is he going to set up? Well, he's going wide. That means this is the start of a run. DRS open for him. Some people are coming out, but those are not relevant. They might just be doing setup tests. Oh, that's a bit deep for Randers. That's gonna cost him, I think, about a second. And I think with that run is dead. He's not gonna improve. The Crow also not gonna improve. He's currently in the pits. What is Marcus gonna do then? Is he gonna be able to set? I think he was too late, so I don't think he's gonna be able to. It leaves us Domska and Statue. Both of these drivers. And Domska is going to be cheeky. He's going to try to get a little bit of DRS from Statue. Unfortunately, Statue is very quick. You're not going to be able to overtake him. We will not be able to benefit so much from this slipstream. I think he's missed the mark. He should have aimed for a slipstream late on and hope the Statue makes a mistake. Anyway, these are the cards that he is dealt, and this is how he's going to drive. Although I say that, qualifying is already over, right? He didn't have that much time. So, Domska with a chance to improve, but it is compromised. First, we're going to have a look at the man right ahead of him, Statue. Ferrari driver has the opportunity to get a pole position in front of the Posey, but that time from the Crow, nobody's been able to really get close. Been over a tenth for Marcus and everybody else 2/10 or more. Statue himself is 3/10 away. Is he going to be able to improve on his time? And if so, is it going to be enough? Domska is keeping up. Crucially, now he has a lot of slipstream to enjoy. No DRS, but it is a lot of slipstream, and that is some extra speed. Through here then. Good exit from Statue then. And Domska, we'll see Statue go across the line. Doesn't get a full slipstream. Weirdly, Statue doesn't improve. And I believe we're left with the Crow and P1. It is a pole position for the Crow. Then Marcus and then Randers. We're going to quickly hit an ad and then I'll run you through the whole grid. Meanwhile, it is time for me to update a lot of things. The Crow has pole position. That's very impressive from him. We've got Randers P3, Marcus and P2. Very impressive from Randers to be up there. And Marcus also in between some of the strongest drivers that we have. Dustin P6. I think he will be okay with that, considering how the qualifying session was going for him. We've got Sorrow Geralt in P... what is it? 8? Okay. Kiesa, P9. Pretty decent. Then we've got Michael. Cavallor. And Silver. Okay, we'll need to scroll down to see the rest. Veloson as a reserve driver in P3. 13. Very good. I've got Daniel. Nota bene. A German, by the way, not Brazilian. Then we have Mercury. Sorry, behind Nota bene. And then we have PC Finch. Oh, Domi, PC Finch, and then Dimitri. Dimitri didn't set a time. I don't know why he does not set a time. Maybe that's how he likes to drive, but I don't think... Was he banned? Did he have a qualifying ban? I don't think he did. Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't think he showed up last race. Very tough. I don't know. Okay. So, ad is over. I've got everything set up. We should be able to see the starting grid. So, Dikra, pole position. Very spectacular. Very impressive. Tough one to get in this league, but he keeps doing it. Again, fastest man that we have. Marcus next to him. Very impressive from him. Toro Rosso on the front row. We've got Randers and Domska right behind that. Randers performing very well again. And getting close to his performance in the first race. Maybe he can win it from there. Domska in P4. Then we've got Statue P5. Will want better if he wants that championship. They've got Dustin and Sorrow. Gerald, Kiese, and Michael round off the top 10. Behind Michael, we have Cavallor, we have Silver. Two drivers that might meet each other a lot. But Cavallor will be looking forward, so he will want better positions for his championship position in the end. Well, Velhorst on in 13th, and then Daniel Gilligan, first outing. Very nice to be up there. Now we've got Nota Bene, Mercury, Domi in P17, ahead of PC Finch, but those two are very close. They might fight a lot. And Dmitry Petrov didn't set a time. P19 for him. So, that's in short. I'm excited for this race. Get yourselves ready. I'm going to take a swig of water. And we're going to have 33 laps of this wonderful Italian racetrack. Can hear the lights go on then as they get ready to go, and there they go. Oh, it is a shoddy start, I think. It's very hard to see exactly, but it's a very, very good start for one of the Red Bulls. Dustin on the inside. Oh, he thinks better of trying to force it into turn one. Turn one. Oh, it's so dangerous. There's a Ferrari sandwich in between. Statue, I think. Oh, it's I don't know how there's nobody off. But we have a clean Monza turn one. It has happened. We've won the Nobel Peace Prize as SSR. Dustin still has to defend from Randers. Randers still choosing war. Statue in P4. Where is Domska? Domska's all the way down in P7. Not a good start from him at all. Also, Marcus in P8. Even worse. We'll be devastated with that. Made such good progress in qualifying, and De Croo is off. He has left everyone behind, as everybody behind is fighting. Look at that. So many drivers so close to each other. We're gonna have to take a couple of laps to see what has actually happened. Kiese in P10, defending from Silver as, where is Cavallor? Cavallor in P6, what a start from Cavallor. Remember, that man was 11th. He's 7th, P7 for Cavallor, as he has Domska to fight with, which, you know, unenviable position. Domska around the outside there is a difficult one. I don't think he has DRS yet, so he's gonna have to do it purely on, well, setup, and he's kind of done that. As Statue is looking on the inside of Dustin. Dustin thinks better of it. As Statue, oh, there's no collision at all. Dustin concedes to position. A lag, we'll call it a lag. As Michael is looking on the inside of his sister team. Michael also with a very good start. Started 10th, currently P5, fighting with Dustin. And he has to concede the position to Domska. Not a crazy thing to do at all. I'm not sure if that's a fight you want to do anyway. This camera is unusable. Zorro, you are currently P9. Is that where you started? No, you started P7. You lost a couple of positions. Otherwise, nice and clean as Michael does. Oh, he's looking. He's gotten much better exits out of here. He doesn't have DRS yet, but it is around the outside of Ascari is crazy. Yeah, he doesn't do that. Cavalo is also choosing peace here. Statue has shaken himself loose from what is behind him, namely Dustin and Randus, and they've each got about a second in between them. Domska is having a little bit of a crowd behind him. Everybody's looking for an autograph, they pretend, and they will overtake him if he ever gives them an opportunity. I do see now Cavalo is moving ahead of someone. There's something going on there. A lot of side-by-side action. It's hard to say who's overtaking who. And that doesn't matter as long as, well, we'll see who comes out on top. It's Kears here that comes out on top ahead of Marcus. Marcus has a couple of problems, but I feel like he's losing precision here and there as Sorrow thinks for a move on the inside. That seems to work as well. Maybe Marcus has a little bit of damage and it could cost you. Oh no, he's on the inside. Well held from Sorrow, keeping that P9 position. Marcus currently in P10. Marcus now have to defend against Geralt. Absolute madness here. Oh, there's a little bit of grasses there as well. Silver also very close to the top 11. And we have no retirements yet. We do have Dummy in the pits. May have a lot of damage. It's going to have to be fixed. Also see Dmitry Petrov has moved himself up to P16. And the Mercury and PC finish. The Sauber team trying their very best. But look at... Oh, there's a big incident there. Ooh, not so bad. Oh! No, okay, that's sorry, depth perception. Oh, okay. He's hit the wall. Okay. Very chaotic. What has happened? Well, things keep happening here. There is now a DRS train that has formed. Cavalo, Domska. Domska goes wide there. Cavalo, I think, makes his way past. This is devastating for Domska, who was defending his championship. Not very successfully. He's still P2 10 points behind with 3 races to go. But now he's P7. And it seems like people just are fighting with him. It's not like he's in past races. Oh, and he's pushed Kees off. Kees will be a little bit pissed off with that because that cost him a couple of positions. Back to P11 for him. There is so much going on in this little pack here. And as I see, and there's also where Statue was dropped off all the way to P12. Oh no, that is especially bad because, and I need you to be aware of this. This pack here. I say Domska is struggling. That's not just because Domska is bad at this track or anything. It is because this pack is like cramps in a bucket. They're all pulling each other down. Yeah, Statue cannot make his way through here smoothly. He's losing a lot of time trying to get through here, and he's gonna have to find something strategical to, yeah, maybe get himself up there. These people are already, like, Randus is second place. He's 7 seconds away from the Crow. Oh, Randus is actually third place. Dustin, very clean overtake on the start-finish straight. And Michael, I don't know how, but Michael is there. Michael is looking at them. Michael can see them. Michael is in P4. We've got Cavalo P5. Domska is back to P7 again. This is complete and utter madness. This is Monza at its absolute cancel best. We're 3 wide here and there's not going to be any incidents. It's insane what these drivers can all do together. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch of gravel and that makes it vulnerable. Oh, Sorrow. Around the outside, he's going to hold on to a couple of positions. Slides in there so smoothly. I'm not even commentating a race. I'm commentating art here. The way these drivers are driving is akin to art. It's so beautiful. On the inside here, Silver goes. This camera is just as useless as the other one, but there we go. Silver on the inside for the Akari chicane. I'm literally struggling how to sort. I don't know how to talk anymore because this race is so crazy. And there is no script here, right? This is not pre-programmed. This is not scripted in any way. This is just the craziest race I've ever seen. On the inside, Marcus goes, has DRS, but hasn't even activated yet. Now he activates it. But so does Sorrow. Just had not that great of an exit. And look how fast Marcus is. On the inside, then Sorrow goes. Oh, that is a move. Oh, how are you? Oh, not all in the gravel. It's crabs in the bucket. We're now 15 seconds behind the leader. I'm telling you. That was 11 seconds, I think, only 2 laps ago. All of these people keep fighting. And what do you do if you are called Statue? Currently P18. I think Domi has retired from the race. The Statue is currently in P18. He may have already stopped, and I think that might be a very good decision because this entire pack is they're destroying each other. Dustin is currently in P2. He's fighting with Randus. Randus is currently in P2 into the Ascari chicane. And these two, I don't know if they're working together, but if they are, I think they're gonna have to do it to even have a shot at catching up to the Crow. We've got Cavalo in P4. He's shaken all of that from him. Keze is relatively safe, but Marcus is not. Donska is not. Sorrow, Geralt, Silver, all of these drivers are within DRS distance of each other, and it's not just a DRS train. What we normally mean with a DRS train is a group of people, like the first person behind someone within a second, they normally have DRS, are able to overtake. But if somebody else close behind them, they also have to defend, and that person also has DRS. That person behind them also has DRS. So everybody's trying to defend simultaneously as they attack, because if you just attack, you don't defend, you might lose so much more than just an opportunity to overtake. So just stay in position. These people don't DRS train, they DRS brawl. This is violence. He is loose now. He has made his way past whatever this gaggle is doing. And Geralt is losing touch with Marcus a little bit. Good news for him. With any luck, Marcus will put himself back into the clutches. Although it does seem to have pacify for now. So we're okay. Say that. I think they're getting close together again. I think has made a mistake, and now Domska is close. And I don't think Domska is the kind of person here to let an opportunity go away. Randus has the DRS. He's gonna look here on the inside again. He's trying to make this as clean of an overtake as possible, and Dustin is not fighting it. This is where, well, I would say Racing IQ is coming in. Don't fight and make sure you don't lose that much time. And try to gain with your DRS. I've got news for them. This man is making some very good moves for his championship today. He's not able to win it outright today. His gap simply is big enough. But if he wins today, and we've got Domska in P5, and we've got Statue, I don't even know where, in P17... He's got very good papers for the championship. Michael, I think, is already boxed as well. It may be a bit of an early stop and now is in P16. Ahead of Statue. Might be a smart move. Unless he has genuinely had a crash. And I wish I could check. Fortunately, they don't allow me. Sorry, they don't allow to see it. They don't show me how often somebody is pitted. That's not data that's available, unfortunately. You can look at timings, but it doesn't actually show the number of times somebody is pitted. If Raze is watching, please update that. I would very much appreciate that. Dustin goes past again with DRS, and we see a couple of people pitting. Cavalo's pitting, and so is Keze, so is Geralt. These two will be working together to try and catch the Crow, but it doesn't seem to actually be working. The results aren't there. If they are lucky, the Crow is on a specific strategy that will allow them to catch later. Dom's currently in P4, and he doesn't seem to have so much pressure from behind anymore. Sorrow is putting out a little bit of pressure on Michael. Oh, sorry, Marcus. Same car, so you know, not that crazy. Velho's on in P8. Be happy with to sit there for a bit, and Gilligan also in the points in his first race here. And we've got Cavalo P10. Dmitry Petrov, despite starting last, he hasn't stopped yet to be clear, but he's going to be P11. And then behind that we have Chiesa, who is leading the undercut charge, essentially. Now, I'm sure what Zorro is thinking right now, he's thinking of how do I line this up to be ahead of Marcus by the end of the straight. Now, he's got Slipstream, now he has DRS. And he's got so much more speed. Marcus is not fighting it. Zorro into P5, and he will try to get away from Marcus, which is, well, with that exit, it might be done. But normally it's just easier said than done. Marcus will still have Slipstream and will still end up being faster by the end of the straight. It's not a straight, but it's effectively a straight, and get closer. Marcus is so collected, you can tell. And Zorro a little bit more, yeah, a little bit. You see a little bit more mistakes, not as smooth. He's got a very good exit out of turn 1 at least, so it gives him a little bit of a buffer. It's enough to stay ahead at this DRS zone. But this DRS, I have to say, is incredibly strong. And there Marcus goes. Moving up another position. I'm making the same observation. This DRS is insane. Not sure how strong it was in real life in 2012. Truth be told, I didn't watch the season, but yeah, it seems to be very fast. You seem to gain so much speed. I think somebody said 20 kph, kilometers per hour. That's pretty substantial. Combine that with a little bit of ERS usage difference, and then yeah, that can make all the difference. Randa's in P2 after his buddy Dustin went to the pits. I think a lot of this is also Dustin is only just ahead of Cavalo. Hello. Cavalo actually nailed an undercut. Decided it will be better up the temperature. He's looking on the inside to make a move. Oh, he's yeah, that was a threat. That was a threat of violence, but all good. See, the Hungarian Velson is just behind these two. Doing a decent race so far. Still has to stop. And Chiesa is currently behind Gilligan. See what he does. The leader of the race is currently into the pits. That promotes Randus, who doesn't pit yet, into the lead. Now critically, where is Dikra gonna end up? Because if he ends up too far back, Cavalo is not going to go ahead of him. So he's behind Marcus, which I thought might be a problem, but the gap is big enough. Gap is big enough that he can push. He will be alright. I don't think he has anything to worry about anyway, right? Let's be clear. He had such a big lead. He's alright. Very close behind Dustin and threatening something. So same thing is happening here. Zorro got past earlier, hasn't really been able to shake Marcus off of him. Marcus looking on the inside, he just is simply faster. That DRS is too strong. The trading positions, normally that means you lose time. If they work together, they can be very, very annoying to Dikra. But I don't think you want to be known as those people that bullied the championship leader. Especially because we actually like Dikra, so he can have it. Of course, you don't get championships for free. You do have to drive for them, and Dikra has shown very, very resilient driving throughout the season. So Soro makes his overtake on Marcus again. Well, Marcus, I don't think he's going to let this one go. Nicely on the brakes. So he's navigated nicely, and ahead he goes. These two will keep trading. Things that are truly going on. Well, a lot of this is just trading. A lot of people aren't actually straight up fighting. Michael has made his way past Dimitri. We'll be looking forward. So what exactly is going on in this race? Who is actually leading? Well, who's leading is easy. That's Dikra. He's currently not in P1, but he is leading this race. However, there is a wrinkle. Randus is currently in P1, and I don't know what tires Randus is on. He is still not coming in. But he's quick. Doing a very good job. Domska behind. Could be looking at a P3 by the end of this race. I don't know how many stops Randus is gonna do. That's what I'm kind of trying to figure out. So he still hasn't stopped. I think it is very likely, as these two trade positions again, it's very likely that Dikra is of a very aggressive strategy. Specifically, he was driving on the softs from the start. Maybe has now switched to a medium or to another soft. I think it's very possible that Dikra is doing an extra stop. We heard about this in the press conference. I think it was Kaflo that mentioned... Oh, it wasn't in the press conference, I think. It was afterwards. He told me it's going to be a soft medium for him. Kaflo currently in P7, fighting with Dustin. Kaflo actually having the race of his life, to be clear, right? This is a very good position to be in. But Marcus hasn't stopped yet. Soro hasn't stopped yet. They're both ahead of Dikra, and Dikra is catching, but it's been a couple of laps. And not only has it been a couple of laps, he is at risk of having to fight with these two because of DRS. He could be sucked in to a DRS vortex that I would prefer not to touch if I had the choice personally. Domska is making good meters. He's getting closer to Ramnus, little by little. He's doing his laps. He's able to stretch his legs a little bit. And Dikra is now... Well, he's gonna have to play with fire here a little bit. He's gonna have to make these passes quickly. He's gonna have to be able to get away quickly. Neither of these two things that I just mentioned is easy, because these two are essentially just DRS training off each other. If you get DRS, so does the driver ahead of you. You'll be able to pass maybe one of the drivers. Passing both of them is tricky. Dikra thinks better of it for now. If he's capable, he makes... if he's smart, I think it will be a turn 1 overtake. If these drivers are smart, what do they do? Dikra actually... This might be the way. Getting past one of them, you will still get DRS. Very intelligent driving. Oh, although somebody goes into the pits. Marcus into the pits. And Soro, I think, also has DRS, but Dikra now also has DRS and is able to stay away. That could not have gone any better for this man, who will now be catching up to Domska and Randus, who are now fighting for the lead. Domska has caught up to Randus. Both doing an excellent race so far, but they will be looking at stopping fairly soon, I believe. So I want to note, we have had one retirement. It was, I think, because he had a little bit of damage. I'm not exactly sure, but Domi stopped driving earlier. Actually, I think... Oh, Dmitry Petrov has a big error. He's going all the way backwards towards the first chicane. What happens? Oh, don't right click. He recovers the car. Don't know if he has any damage. Let's hope that that's not the case. As we do want to watch what is going on here in the lead. Domska and Randers very close together. Domska has got the pace advantage. He will have DRS. Oh, they're both going into the pits. Oh, that's spicy. What is going to happen here? They're both going to stop. That's for one. Sorrow is now also going to pit. Okay, I think Domska had a decent entry. And there he comes out. Unfortunately for Domska... No, I think it's alright. I think he's alright. He is still behind Randers and the gaps are almost exactly the same. Wrinkle being that Gerald Schmidt is in between them now. Parks his car in between two dueling rivals, although his tires are so much worse. I don't think it's going to be long. It's already done. Domska is now ahead of Gerald and will be continuing his fight with Randers. Not for the effective lead, although... Put an asterisk behind that. Prix is going to have to stop again. At least once more. I think it will be exactly once more. If he doesn't stop, If he doesn't stop, his tires will be gone by the end of, well, lap 30 maybe. And he has to do 3 laps without any tires. I know how that is. That's how I got second place once in an SSR race. It's not pleasant. It's not a good experience at all. Randers fighting Domska. Domska has gotten past now, but you see Randers is still there. Well, he actually lets him go. Lets him go maybe a little bit too hard. Will he get DRS? Will be able to overtake. Geralt is now also into the pits. Will be his maybe his last stop. Oh, let me see. Do see who is that? Is that? I thought Geralt was in the pits. He did not go into the pits. He was sneaky and overtook both of these drivers. I don't know exactly what happened there, but Geralt is absolutely blasting past. I believe tires that are much older. Michael and Mercury now also into the pits. I believe for Michael will be the second time. It's very, very hard to tell what exactly is going on in this race and what is even the best strategy here, because it is complete and utter chaos. We'll see Silver, for example, bite markers behind Sorrow. It's also absolutely something to look out for. Key is quietly in P3 and more impressively Dustin is just in P2. I'm not sure how permanent that is. Oh, and it's a big mistake. I believe that's Randers into the wall. Oh, he's lost control over the car. He's lost his rear wing as well, so it's going to be a very painful recovery for him. He's able to control the car just about. Oh, just be so careful, Randers. It's something easy to forget when you're in these situations. You need to drag this car to the pits. That there's other drivers on the track. You need to make sure you're predictable for them. Very hard to do, but thankfully there's no further incidents. And Randers into the pits. Big incident there. We will be able to finish the race. I don't see a safety car yet. Double check. Nope, no safety car. Dustin currently in P2. He's behind Dikra, who is still leading this race. Marcus, Silver and Sorrow are bunching up for the winter. You know, staying warm together. On the inside, but no move to be made there. Second Lesmos. He's got DRS now, and that's what he will really have been looking forwards to. He's already lining up for it. Not hiding his intentions whatsoever. Sorrow lets him go Silver is watching this and just waiting for an opportunity to strike. It will come. DRS for Sorrow, looking to re-overtake. I'm sure he's having fun. I don't know how much these overtakes are going to matter in the grand scheme of things. In a sense, it might be better for the tires to be ahead. Not sure how good it is for the tire. I need to stop right click. I need to unbind right click. That's my problem. Brandis is still on the pits, standing still. All the damage is getting repaired, and there's a lot of damage. So I fear, yeah, he's being demoted all the way to last place, unfortunately. He's got a lot to make up, but he might just finish the race and let that be it. Normally, we get a lot of retirements. Normally, we barely finish with 12 people, but now there's actually still 18 people on the track. That is unique. Not just in SSR, but also in, well, general sim racing, honestly. Normally people just can't give up if things don't go their way. We are kind of looking at Domska overtaking. Yeah, there's proper overtake on Keese. Keese doing a good race here, but losing a little bit of pace here and there. Especially with respect to Domska, who is just an incredibly quick driver. Currently in P4, which is very respectable. If he finishes here, he will be ecstatic, I'm sure. Geralt is in the pits, and so is Silver. Gilligan in P10. Dustin being in P2, I think he will be happy with that. I don't know how representative that will be of the finishing position. Judging by how stable he has been there, I think he's alright. I think that is a very likely P2 finish for him. I think it will be a return to form for him. He will be very happy with that. I think it will be enough to get P4 in the championship as well. And I don't know his statue. His statue is currently not even in the points. Remember, this last time, this man won the previous race. I think it's Gilligan, yeah, coming out of the gravel, making a bit of a mistake there. Statue overtaking, currently in P12. He's got a point behind his name. Dustin going in for a stop. I believe this will be his last. Statue? Yes, there he is. Now, what does Statue need to do to win this championship? Well, it's very simple. I don't know if he can after this race. He's literally got to win both races after this one and then hope that the Crow is on vacation. That's literally his path to the championship. If things are stay as they are. Domska will be 15 points behind. He literally, 13 points behind. He will need the Crow to go on vacation as well. If the Crow goes on vacation, we might have an exciting season, but the Crow right now looks completely unbeatable. Race after race, this man has been so consistent. Even in the first race where, well, Randers had a very strong showing and won that race, it was only because the Crow just lacked one lap. The Crow was on his way to go and win that race, just ended a little bit too soon. He was right there. Montreal's second race, he was again right there, but because of a little bit of DRS games and Domska being in control of the race from P2, overtaking him on the last lap was enough for Domska to take that win. The Crab finished second. Last race, well, I hope you saw what happened there. Again, it was a case of Statue, currently in P12, robbing that from him last lap again, this time in a very spectacular fashion. Good sportsmanship though, conceding a P2 after he then murdered Statue on the last corner. And today it seems Verstappen-esque. 15 seconds ahead of the competition. I will say the driver that should finish in P2, most likely. Currently in P6 after boxing. Should still be ahead of that as well, though. Sorry, Marcus. Thought so much they are 22 seconds behind. They don't stand a chance of beating Dikra. It's good to see that these two are so close to each other. Not just like physically on track, but I mean in pace. Good fights for both of them. Enjoyable. I think Sora will be happy that as chaotic as this race was today, he is able to drag out, what is it, 8 points as it stands. Maybe 9 if he overtakes Marcus by the end. He's gonna have to be a bit smart about it. There's still some strategy to be done, and Dikra is in the pits. That's a clean stop. Very good. Now Domska will overtake. I think Kaiser will overtake too, but that's it. Kaiser will not overtake. He's also going into the pits. Domska is actually going to have to worry about an undercut a little bit. Domska wasn't that far ahead of Kaiser. Something to worry about for him. And Dikra is behind Domska. And there is a Mercedes in between who's going to have to deal with blue flags, and that is Dimitri indeed. He will be good about them. He is currently behind Cavalor, but side by side behind Gerald Schmidt he is. Ooh, and I'm not sure if that was the hope. I presume if you were to sit on the pit wall, you'll be calculating for being ahead of Gerald. That hasn't happened, so I don't think he will be happy with that. So what crazy things have happened here today? Well, I don't know where to start. Sorrow Marcus in P3, P4, as it stands. Dustin is right behind them. This could be interesting. See the overtake for Sorrow ahead of you. Oh, he doesn't have that good of a run through here, though. Actually, let's Marcus back ahead. And this time, I think Marcus has DRS as well. And Dustin is just shooting past. He's got DRS as well. Two Red Bull drivers. Oh, and Sorrow tries for a move on the inside of Marcus. Oh, they want to see the position a little bit aggressive. Doesn't make the move stick. And Cavallo is also very close behind. Keep in mind, these two are going to fight each other backwards. Dustin P3, by the way. Dustin, very good overtake there. I think that's probably PC finish. Yeah, letting a bunch of people by. Very good driving from them. Cavallo will be chasing these two down. Dikra is now fighting to put that stranglehold on that lead and complete his campaign, essentially. It's against his teammate who I don't think is going to put up too much of a fight. He understands they're on different strategies, and Dikra is on a different planet. Ooh, thankfully he's not in a wall. That is one thing always to worry about. Can't get too comfortable. There we go. Dikra takes that position, no problem. Your race leader and a likely race winner from where we stand right now. The only thing that could honestly change that is a safety car. Cavallo in P8. I think if we get a safety car, this race is wide open and complete chaos. I kind of am not hoping for a safety car because it could ruin everything. Dustin lapping someone in P3. I think it's quite comfortable here. Looking to finish there. And Domska is going to have to consider what he's going to do with those tires, I think. I think he still needs to stop. Sorry, Marcus are still fighting. And Cavallo's dropped back a little bit. He might have stopped. He might have had a boxy. Surely Sora and Marcus also like need to box at some point, right? Or as we see somebody in the grass. It's not Petrov, it's his teammate, who's also, I think, oh, not Sabina. Oh, rough race for him. He's back on track, driving again. Statue's just stopped again, will be his final stop, and I think he's just on softs and trying to push as hard as he can. Gonna try for a point today. And he will need that point. That is quite critical to get, I think. Because he could drop back to fighting for third with people behind him after today. I also have to say Lotus cars aren't driving away from each other. Domska hasn't really overtaken, but keeping within a second. I'm not sure if that's intentional from Dikra, trying to keep his body within the RS range to give him a little bit of extra lap time, or bit of lap time. Give Domska a bit of a better chance to end up on the podium, because as it stands, it's possible if Sora and Marcus pits for sure, but it's going to be P3. Behind Dustin though. And Geralt is not far off, and Keza, watch Keza. Keza is right behind Geralt. He's gonna want this overtake, he's gonna need this overtake, and he's gonna need to run away. That's gonna be tough. Makes the overtake. Step 1 complete. Spin is in the pits right now. Is a nicely in P6. There's been an overwhelming race today. First few laps were complete and utter chaos. I'll keep looking at these two. These are simply closer, and I don't think Domska is going to put up too much of a fight against Dikra. An absolutely chaotic race at the start, and I feel like Domska is not going to stop again. That might be a wise decision. I think it's going to give him the best chance for a P2, giving Lotus not a 1-2. I think that's also why Dikra is not driving away. I think that's a choice. Dustin 8 seconds behind. That's a lot to catch up, and I doubt he will. Let's be clear, right? Every fight that we currently see is for position. This is for position. And this is for position. End of sentence. There's not many more fights going on. Technically this is for position, but I doubt Domska is gonna do this. And if Dikra is smart, he doesn't let him. Because if Domska wants to be in the championship, he does need to win this race. Let's be clear, right? I don't know if Dikra is doing a charity, but he might be backstabbed here, and that will be very interesting, exciting for the season for sure. But if Dikra is smart, he starts driving away after a few laps. The gap to Dustin is still growing. Dustin is not gonna overtake Domska. Dikra needs to look out for himself, and if he doesn't, he stands to lose this win. You can see Domska has extra speed. Domska is considering a repeat. I'm sure he, in his head, is debating it. If he wants to win this championship, and I'm sure he does, this is a must-win race. If you finish P2 here, normally you lose about 3 points. The gap is currently 10, it's going to be 13 with 2 races to go. That's nigh on impossible to overcome if Dikra has normal races. If you overtake, you win the race, you gain 3 points, 7 points in 2 races, that's possible. It's a big difference. Domska needs to consider, like, what are we choosing here? What are we going to do? I know they love each other, you know. I know they're great friends. But I also know that Domska wants to defend that championship and wants to give it everything. I don't know if Dikra is playing games here. I don't know if it's just the tire choice that he went on that is just not as fast. Ooh, that's a little bit awkward there for Gerald. He is now a little bit away. This is definitely something we need to watch, because this might be betrayal. This might be a repeat of Montreal. If Dikra is smart, I think he drives away here. Anytime he gets the opportunity anyway. We also have Sorrow now having lost touch to Marcus. Marcus now properly ahead. He's too close together. Oh, there's a mistake. Domska letting go of that position. Oh, this is the opportunity Dikra may have looked for. I think he's actually trying to pull Domska along a little bit. Is this a sign of friendship, or is this totally naive? Do these Lotus guys have Lotus rules? Is there honor amongst thieves? We'll get a lot of philosophical answers here today. We're gonna get clarity in a couple of laps. What else is going on? Well, we're not there yet. What else is actually going on? Notabene is currently in last place, having had a very rough race. Randus, same story. PC finish, I think much improved, still in P16. And Gilligan is actually gonna have to stop again. That is kind of unfortunate, because I think it's going to cost him a position. Domska and Dikra. Ooh. There's been no moment in my life where I more wanted to read a couple of thoughts, you know, just to know exactly what are we working with here. Belhuzon, by the way, is in the points. I think Gilligan had to stop. So he's lost those points. Velhuzon currently P12. I think he's run out of fuel. And that's Mercury in the points. Very exciting for Mercury. He's in the points yet again. Yeah, I think his car is gone. I think he's out of fuel. That's tragic, man. Statue in P11. Okay, so we've been waiting for this. We're currently on lap 32, but after Parabolica, we will no longer be on lap 32. We'll be on lap 33. Now, what is going to happen? Is Domska going to complete a little bit of betrayal here, or is Dikra going to be able to parry it? Oh, and there's a wrinkle. Look what's coming out of the pits. It's a Ferrari. Is that Ferrari? I think it's Ferrari. Somebody's coming out of the pits. It's not Velhuzon. He has unfortunately had to retire. And you can see Dikra immediately trying to stretch his legs a little bit. Do not let Domska close by, because this could end in tears so easily between these two. This is very important for the championship that Domska gets past. It's very important for Dikra's championship that he does not. Dikra is ahead in the championship by 10 points, but that could swing in either direction today. It could be one hand on the trophy or significant doubt if he will get it. Domska getting very close before Ascari. There is still a gap, and it is a pretty big one. He's gonna need a good exit out of here with good slipstream. He's gonna have to get closer by before the turn even starts. But it's not looking great for Domska. Has he made a big mistake in the calculations here? Has Dikra successfully defended this win? It's absolutely looking like it. De Croo is going into the last 2 races of championship, 13 points ahead, and maybe a little bit more or less. And it is indeed a win for De Croo. That's not the one I wanted. It is this one. There we go. De Croo is our race winner today, and Domska finishes in P2. Looked like games were being played, but Dikra got the better of them this time. Dustin in P3, very nice for him to finish on that podium. Marcus P4 will be very happy with that, and Kiesa in P5, overtaking Sorrow somewhere near the end of the race. Will be happy with that, I'm sure. Sorrow P6, I might be a bit disappointed, might be quite happy that finally a down spell for him has been worn off a little bit. Gerald in P7, looks happy, he's doing donuts. Then we got Kavlor in P8, Silver in P9, Michael in P10. Interesting for him to go down there fast, which has been a very chaotic race. That's you in P11. That is, I think, one of the most painful results on this view. We got Mercury with another point, no longer a coincidence. I believe we got Gilligan, Dmitry Petrov behind that, Finch, who's on retired, but is still ahead of Randus because he drove more. This is correct. This is strictly speaking correct. So it means I can't put Velhos on as a DNF. But you know what? We'll allow that. Domi is then the only official retirement. After lap 3, too much damage and left the race. Who is the fastest lap? This is important. Also save the replay. It looks like it's Dikra. It is indeed Dikra. 23-3. Very good. Submit those results. All right. So what we are going to do is, well, first I'm going to switch to this little screen here. So we can remove. Hello. Might need to do a bit of a refresh here. I feel like my stuff has broken just a little bit. Yes, it has. Give us a moment. We are looking at this one here. Refresh. Are we back? Oh, it might be that I need to refresh my browser here. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Okay. Are we good? Oh, that is, I think, quite a big problem if that hasn't saved correctly. Okay, no, it's okay. We're good. We're not good. The graphics are dead. The graphics are very, very dead. I don't exactly know what happened here. And I might actually need to just refresh the cache and then refresh. Do we have this? No? Okay. Everything's dead. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to vocally communicate the standings. Maybe edit the post for YouTube. Okay. Dikra is currently P1. He's got 83 points behind his name in the championship. We've got Domska in P2. I'm going to refresh this whole page so I can get a much cleaner list for myself. Yeah. P2 for Domska. Statue is in P3, but at 54 points. Dustin at 44 in P4. He has taken that position. Geralt in P5 with 41, and they've got Randus in Randus in P7. Marcus is in P6. Sorrow is in P8, equal on points with Randus, 31 each. They've got Michael P9, 27 points. Kavlor P10, 27 points. And behind that, Silver at 15 points. Kiesa on 12 points in P12. We'll be happy with that, I'm sure. Mercury got on the point behind his name, 7 points, P13. Then we've got JJ P14 with 6 points. PC Finch still P15 with 5 points. Yori F1 has got 16 points by the name, I think, from one result. We've got Domi P17, Petrov P18, Maserati P19, and then the rest of the drivers that have participated haven't scored. So, what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, I think, is reset my program because there has, I think, been a big error. I'm currently looking through logs really quickly to see if I see any red letters, but I don't think there are. So, unfortunate. I don't know why it is all broken. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to set up interviews, very important. You can listen to a little bit of music. There will be a quick ad to make sure that we don't have any ads during the interviews. And yeah, I'll be there in a bit. All right, welcome back. I didn't manage to finish. I didn't manage to fix any graphics, so we're doing this without any graphics. Enjoy this slightly muted image of the background of Stanistic Racing. We are going to simply walk through the results one by one and interview people very briefly about how their race was. As always, after the race, first we will be speaking to our race winner, Dikra. Hello.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you very clearly. How are you feeling after that race?
Relieved, to be honest. I'm relieved that Monza is over with, and I'm actually surprised and still can't really believe that I actually won that race because that was the track where I expected to do well the least. I think I had a lot of luck with setup. I didn't have time to practice too much for this, so I just blindly copied our setup into the low downforce formula car, and it worked much better than I anticipated. And I think especially in qualifying it was quick, and to win the race I think it was key to start in the front row, at least with the strategy that I did.
All right. Well, I'm not sure you noticed. You ran right from the pack very very fast. You were like 5 seconds away before you could even blink. Behind you there was utter chaos. Do you think this race could have gone differently if you didn't manage to get that gap grown so quickly?
Well, the reason that that gap grew so quickly was because of my tire choice. I went for the soft tire, which I knew wasn't quite as durable, but I just wanted to have instant grip in the first lap to avoid any shenanigans behind me, because I knew the DRS was going to be super powerful. If someone were in my wheel tracks, I would never get rid of him for the entire race. So I went for the soft tire starting on pole position because I thought that's my main shot to get away from everyone. And I think had I not done that, had I gone for the softs, then the race would have played out very differently. Then there would have been constant DRS battles, and that way I avoided that. I don't think that was necessarily the quickest strategy. I think the one stop with mediums was the quicker strategy, but I think for me, especially also looking at the championship, to not get involved into several battles was the right decision.
Yeah, and I think the decision absolutely paid off with a win as a bonus. Honestly, yeah, staying out of all of the melee behind you ended up paying off very well. Then at the end, you were still very close with Donska. You caught up to him quickly. You passed him very easily, and then you didn't get rid of him. Was that part of strategy, or was Donska genuinely just able to keep up with you?
The thing in that case was twofold. The first thing was that around lap 26, 27, maybe a little later, maybe I think 28, 29, I noticed that I had about 2 liters of fuel too little and that I needed to save it. That was one reason, and the other reason before that, before the reason why Domschka managed to stay in my DRS was because I talked with him during the race, and he said he was afraid of Dustin catching him on the soft tires, so I gave him DRS for I think 1 or 2 laps. That was intentional on my part, and the lap after that I started to save fuel because I noticed I was not going to make it to the end of the race.
Okay, interesting. Well, in the end, that didn't, it didn't cause any issues. I was thinking maybe we could get to see a repeat of Canada, but thankfully for you, that was not the case.
No, the way I saved fuel was so I could go flat out on the last lap, and the way that Domschka's tires were at that point meant that I didn't even need to do that. I think I saved even fuel on the last lap slightly because I don't think he had the tires to really attack me anymore at that point.
All right. Well, all of that thankfully worked out very well for you. You got that race win, and you're going into the next race 14 points ahead. You've got the opportunity to actually confirm that championship for yourself. I believe winning the race without Domska getting second and fastest lap, I think is enough for you. Do you think you can manage that?
I think Suzuka is one of the tracks where that should suit me very well because it has fast flowing corners, and this is the type of corner that I'm usually good at. It was the same thing with Silverstone, so I have hopes that I will be competitive there. But I think in Suzuka, it's going to be a very, very different race from this one. In Suzuka, track position is actually going to matter and not be a disadvantage because I think it's going to be tough to stay behind another car through the S section in the dirty air. So yeah, qualifying is going to be very important there, and I'm not world's best qualifier, even though I somehow found myself on pole today. I don't know how that happened, but usually I'm not I'm not particularly good at qualifying, and I think that's gonna be a huge factor. And I think if I start third or fourth, it's gonna be very hard to win that race. I hope I do. I think I have chances, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yes. Well, I think in fact, correction. If you win the race, I don't think there's any way that Domska can catch you after that. He can tie you after the last race, but you will have a better comeback. So if you win the next race, you will be the champion.
Okay, let's hope I do.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for the interview and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll move swiftly on to the person in second place, his teammate, Domska. How are you feeling, Domska?
Hey Findict. Yeah, I have two feelings inside me. Firstly, I'm feeling okay. I'm happy about the race. Let's say that, because I don't know if you know that, but I was like away for the weekend and I had no time to practice, and I had a 7-hour car drive. Uh, Today, and I was barely home before the start of the practice. So I'm happy that I finished second without any training. I didn't have thought that I thought I will be like P5 or P6, but it is a P2, and that's very cool. I'm very happy about that. It was a strong race on my part, but on the other hand, Dikra won that race, and I've lost points to him again. So that makes me little bit disappointed, but yeah. In the grand scheme of things, I'm okay with today.
Yeah, well, yeah, hearing all that is very impressive that you finished P2 indeed, and actually got quite close to winning that race. We heard from Dikra that didn't look like you could take that position. Was there any hope that in the last few laps that you could take the win?
I said to him in the Discord server during the race that I will not attack him if he gave me the S to defend from Dustin. Maybe I lied a little bit there because I thought if I am near enough in the last lap and it will be a clean pass, not something optimistic, then I will go for it. But obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, I think it played out all okay, really well.
Okay, so no papaya or lotus rules between you two then. Well,
No.
a little bit of deception, but in the end your tires weren't there, so was not possible.
Yes, my tires weren't there. They were done. No chance.
Familiar feeling. Okay, so yeah, the rest of the race, the ending was interesting. Let's talk about the rest of the race because that was completely bonkers. How did you experience that? Just talk me through your feelings about that.
The first stint was quite chaotic. I started on P4, and then I saw someone in my rear mirror approaching very fast to turn one, and I had to avoid him, or I thought I had to avoid him, and then I cut the first chicane in the first lap. So after that, I was P6 and in the middle of the midfield battles, and that cost me a lot of seconds. I was side by side with, I think, Carfolo. I was side by side with Sorrow, I think, and many more. it was fun, but I knew that my race was compromised because of that. So yeah, I think I had one time I put someone a little bit on the gravel. Sorry about that. I don't know who it was. I just saw that it was very close at the exit of the second chicane, and the one that was beside me dropped behind, or dropped a little bit behind. So yeah, it was quite chaotic,
Yeah, we caught
but fun.
the pushing off on stream as well. I believe it was Keys, but I'm not 100% on that. But yeah, it was a very chaotic battle. Fun in a way, I'm sure, but also very stressful. So yeah.
Yes, you couldn't get away in the DRS. You know, I just knew I had the pace, but the DRS was so strong, and they catched me every single time. So yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But in the end, a very, very strong P2. Losing position, losing a bit of points to your rival, but still technically in it.
Yeah, it's still possible, but you know, the last time a race was decided on the last lap, and we raced after that in Suzuka, there was a little lap one collision that brought some tension in the championship. So let's see what will happen in Suzuka.
Yeah, let's see if we're gonna repeat. So yeah, thank you very much, and congratulations
Thank
on
you
the
for
P2
streaming.
anyway. Then next we move to the last podium finisher, and maybe something he didn't quite expect to finish up there. Let's hear it from him. Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm really well.
Yes, I assumed so much. It's been a tough season for you, many ups, many downs. I think this is definitely one of the better parts.
Yes, very much so. This today feels like a win in two ways, actually. The first win is that we had 19 drivers and 18 drivers finished. For myself, as a host, this is so incredible because we have a strong field and it's Monza, especially after turn one, anything can happen, or in turn one. And here and there a few bumps but we had 18 drivers that finished, and I'm so happy with this. I don't think we ever had this. So many drivers finishing in a GPC race. And then my P3, which also could have been a win with one stop less.
Well, I mean, you got to make your stop anyway to change the tires to be able to make it to the end. But yeah, P3 in the end you'll be very happy with. And as you said, 70 finishes technically because Phil ran out of fuel, I believe, a couple of laps before the end, but still finished ahead of Randers because he drove more. So small technicality there, but still that's a lot of finishers. And yeah, no incidents. I exclaimed after turn one, which I don't think there was any major incident there. I exclaimed we won the Nobel Peace Prize right there. It was very, very well done from everyone, and yeah, very few crashes where one person was at fault or something like that. Yeah, your P3 though, you were part of the chaos. I'm pretty sure in the middle. At least you spectate a lot of it. What's your opinion on that, particularly in the first stint?
I didn't saw much of it because my start was like Montreal again. I was instantly in P2, P3 fighting with runners, and I was completely occupied with him, so I didn't really look back. I was looking back to P4 because I thought, Kavlo, he's very fast today. And he had a 10-second time penalty after his first stop because pit lane entry. And then he was fighting against me, and I thought, okay, I'm quite a bit faster. Same with runners, actually. I was a lot faster than both of them, and I lost combined maybe 5 seconds, maybe a bit more than that. If I could have driven without any issues. And at some point, I also said to Kafala, listen, I'm much faster. Can we please stop switching around? And I can give you a tow. And this worked for us until his tires broke down. So when I noticed, okay, everyone is, well, many are on a two-stop, one stop, and I'm on a two-stop. How do I do this? And I thought, okay, this lap could be good. So what my tires are not completely done. I was driving on softs on my first stop, and also on softs in the last stint. And I was out in P6, and I gave just everything to overtake Marcos and Sorrow in one of the best overtakes I ever had in Amos 2. I just driving through the middle of them with DRS. And I was pushing because I knew, okay, I can still win the race. But a couple laps before that, I noticed, fuel. This is an issue. And just like Dikra, I managed to just finish with enough fuel. So,
Hey, very
yeah.
interesting. And Domska didn't have to worry about you at all then, without that knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, top three, two people without fuel and one person without tires. Very interesting. But yeah, you made it in the end. P3, very well done. You move up to P4 in the championship, so best of the rest in a way. 10 points behind Statue. Do you think you can go for P3 in the championship?
I mean, it's only, 10 points, if you say so. Statue has said that he has sometimes a couple of issues where he has a massive lag, and that's what happened to him. If something like this happens again to him, and I finish again on P3, we are equal on points for the last race. So it's very much possible, and I will try my best because I have still something to clear in Suzuka because of my mistaken penultimate lap last season, where I almost won. But I wanted to let Gary win anyway, so yeah, still a P2. But the goal is definitely there to win the race because I have to win at least one race this season. So I will give my best for it.
You picked a very well. I mean, every season, of course, you want to do this, but it's been a very difficult season to get in between the Lotus team. So you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely doable because with this race, I hope my bad luck is finally over because I hadn't had a single thing that was going wrong for me today, which is a first for the season in race 6. So I'm optimistic.
Yeah, hopefully that continues. And in Brazil and in Japan, you will have a clean run and a clean shot at a race win.
Yes, I hope so.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll move on from our last podium finisher to the first non-podium finisher. We've got Marcus today in P4. Hello, Marcus. You're currently muted, so we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Hi.
How was that race for you, P4?
Yeah, it was a bit of could have, should have, would have. Qualifying went really well, but on my fastest lap, I had a car in front of me in Ascari and lost to 10, so it could have been on pole. And then I had a very bad race start. I was going for one stop, so medium and medium, and had a really bad getaway. Lost already a few positions till to one, and then there was a Ferrari driver behind me who was going a bit kamikaze, and I had to avoid him, and then he made it 3 into 1 with the cars ahead of me, which ended me up in the gravel later on in turn 2. And then I was back to P8, and to come back from P8 to P4 was quite nice. I had a quite interesting battle with Sorrow and the other guys. But at one time, Domschka was behind me and he finished P2, so on the same strategy. So I should have been better than that. But yeah, was quite interesting, quite fun, but would have preferred to be at the front.
Yeah, very strong race in terms of pace. Very great qualifying. P2 is very impressive against the quality that we have here. Yeah, you currently, let's see, you currently have 38 points, P6 in the championship, and you are 6 points behind Dustin, who's currently in P4. If you continue this form and your results really start to represent what you've shown here today, do you think you could move up in the standings?
Oh, Dustin is very strong and he had a lot of bad luck. Okay, I had in Spa the problem that I was crashed into the wall and had to retire because my engine blew on the way back to the pits. So I lost quite a bit of points there, but I'm usually very cautious when racing with other guys and have very few incidents because of that. But it's, because of that, I'm also a little bit too slow because I lose out on the fights with other people.
Yeah, that's true. But today you did manage to win your fight against Sorrow. In the end, finishing P4 ahead of Case as well. Yeah, great race today for you then. I'm looking forward to the next race in Japan.
Sure. It's one of my favorite tracks, so we will see. And there is not is easy to overtake. So I hope that I will have a good qualifying again and then a better start. And then from then on, we will see.
Yeah, hopefully that will happen. And great race then. Thank you so much for the interview. And then move on. Thank you.
Thank you for commentating.
No worries. We'll find. Well, we don't have P5 because it's not here, so we'll move on to the dancing partner of Marcus, Sorrow, who finished P6. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How was your race today?
I don't remember the last time I was so excited about a P6 finish.
Good. That's great to hear. Continue. Explain why.
Basically, coming into this race, I had no expectations because I knew I was really worried because this track is by far the most similar to Montreal on this calendar. So yeah, I was worried how my pace was going to be. And in practice, I realized that you need to slide the car a huge amount in order to be fast, which is completely not my driving style. I hate this way of driving, so I knew I was going to be pretty slow. But I also knew that raw pace wasn't really going to matter because if you look on time trial, even the back markers were only 1 second slower than the world record around Monza with Formula Racer car. So I knew that it wasn't really going to be that important if I have good pace or not, and it was all going to be decided by the DRS and slipstream dogfighting. Also, I had really little practice because yesterday I was doing an 8 hours of Bahrain event in Le Mans Ultimate, and for this week I was mainly focusing on that. So I only practiced for this race on Wednesday and today. But just before the driver's briefing, I was in a practice server with Dikra, and I was on full tank of fuel, medium tires, and I was driving awfully, to be honest. I was sliding around a lot and was barely keeping it on the track together, and yet I was staying in Dikra's DRS the whole time. So I knew that, yeah, even with my lack of preparation, lack of pace, I can still get a good result. Unfortunately, my lack of practice really shown in qualifying because I went 3/10 quicker on Wednesday. So I definitely could have been top 5 in this quali session. And unfortunately, because of that, I got caught up in the midfield melee at the start. When Marcus was pushed into the gravel in turn 2, I was right behind him and I had a car to my left. So I basically got stuck behind him. And yeah, I dropped to P9 because of that. And then the first like 5-6 laps were absolute just madness. People were going for moves absolutely everywhere. I saw cars spinning out, cars going off track. It was absolute craziness, and to be honest, exactly what I expected. But I was a bit annoyed because then I looked up to the top left corner to check the gaps, and I saw Dikra was like already 7-8 seconds ahead of everyone. And yeah, I was pretty annoyed that we're pretty much giving away a win to him. So lap 7, I decided, okay, it's time to stop this madness. It's time to start working together with the people around me. And I had Domshka and Marcus right ahead of me. Domska unfortunately had good enough pace to get away from us, but I was just about quick enough to stay with Marcus. And basically for the entirety of the race, I was just DRS swapping with him. And originally I planned to go on a two-stop strategy, medium, soft, soft. But I knew that if I get out of DRS, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to be able to make the two-stop work. I'm not going to be able to be fast. So I stayed out on track basically until I lost DRS. And then I pitted and I decided, okay, I might as well put on mediums and go to the end from then. Unfortunately, in the second half of the race, Marcus was just about too quick enough for me. And he got out of my DRS with like 6 laps to go. And at that point, Kaze was like 10 seconds behind me. So, and I knew he was on softs and he was going to push to catch me, which unfortunately he did on the last lap. I had nothing to defend with basically on those old mediums.
Well, very interesting race then. But yeah, positive. That despite the lack of practice, you managed to pull out the P6, still ahead of a lot of other very strong drivers. Is that the end of a bit of an unlucky spell for you then?
Definitely an improvement. I think it's my best result since Barcelona, so I'm happy about that. I don't really mind that I didn't get the top 5 because it would have been pretty much undeserved in my opinion. Didn't really have the pace for such a good result. And yeah, I was quite lucky to have Marcus, who was basically a teammate to me in this race.
Okay, well, worked out in the end then, and P6, can be happy with that. Yeah, thank you very much. We'll move on swiftly. I think still have 2 more people.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Still have 2 more people. One of them just joined, but he was P10, so he gets priority. It's Michael. We get Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How was your race today?
After a lucky start, I was in 4th or 5th position, and then I lost it on lap 5 in the second Lesmo. I had a little oversteer, then I got the snap into the other side and crashed into the barrier. I had to let everyone pass, so I was nearly last, like 14th of. I went to box and then I tried to, pick up some points, damage reduction.
Yeah, well, the damage limitation is fairly effective then, because you can still got P10, which is 3 points behind your name. Are you considering the situation? Are you pretty happy with that?
Yes, but it's because Renders crashed, and I think someone also, but I'm not sure. But yes, I got P10, 3 points, it's okay. But I had very good pace, I think. Strategy would be soft, soft, soft. I think was not that bad, because I was more than a second slower on the medium, so I went for the soft strategy. But yes, at the end I had the medium because I had to go half race distance, so. But yes, very unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate, but there is space there then, and hopefully you can extract that next race as well. Is Suzuka normally a good track for you?
Yes, normally I like Suzuka, but in this car, yeah, we will see. But it's a good track normally, yeah.
Yeah, this car is an interesting one. One more thing before I let you go, and hopefully Suzuka will go well for you. You're currently tied on points with Cavalor. Is that your sworn rival right now?
No, but he touched me in the race. That was, yeah. He's very aggressive. I had to keep him behind at the start. The first laps was very tricky. I couldn't go the full pace because of the drivers in front. So I had to back him a little bit that he could not overtake. It was a tricky part. But then I had free air a little bit and I could go away from him. But then I crashed.
Ah.
So I think P6 was definitely possible today. I didn't make the mistake.
Hopefully better luck next time, and yeah, 2 more races to prove it, and Suzuka being the next one. So yeah. Thank you very much, and we'll see you then.
Yes. Thank you.
And then one more driver we have. A person who finished in P13, I believe, just outside of the points. It's Daniel Gilligan. Hello.
Hello.
Well, it's your first race for with SSR. How was that for you?
Yeah. It was interesting for the first sort of 2/3 of it or so. Got in qualifying when you're half a second off of the next guy in front of you, you sort of think to yourself, I'm probably not going to move very far forwards in this one, especially not in my case where I've not really sat in my sim for the best part of a few months. So didn't really expect to do particularly well. So the fact that I finished one place higher than where I started was quite good. It was looking good for maybe even a sort of a P11 at one stage as well, possibly P10 if I'd been extremely lucky. But about 10 laps from the end, my game just suddenly decided, no, you're going to run at 20 frames a second now. And having looked at some of the GPU data and things like that, nothing was thermally throttling. It wasn't, struggling at all. The system just was no longer drawing as much performance from the GPU for some reason. So that made the last 10 laps pretty unbearable, to be honest, trying to drive around at 20 FPS. So it was a good first experience and a good scrap here and there, but usual things in Monza that other people being interviewed have said were, if you didn't have DRS, then everyone else ahead of you just disappeared into the distance, and then of course that pace deficit that I just naturally had to everybody else meant it was a bit of a more difficult one.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine driving on a PowerPoint presentation can do any good for the pace. But in the end, nearly the points. You got quite close, and you see the quality that is in this grid. Is that in some way encouraging still?
It's encouraging in a way. I think also just that Monza is it's very car dependent for me as to whether or not I'm good at Monza, and I'm hoping it's a case that it's this is a bad car for me around Monza rather than a good car. But I've not been in the sim for so long, so I've not really got much frame of reference there. But we'll see. I'll definitely come back for some more. But if things get worse rather than better, then it might be a relatively short-lived time.
I think you will be able to improve quicker than some of the quicker guys. So they're near the limit, and you can always move closer to them. Will you see you in Japan at Suzuka?
You might well do. You might. I'll have to wait and see. There might be work for me on that day. I'll have to double check calendars and things like that. But I would certainly like to be. Put it that way.
All right. Well, would really hope to have you back as well, and hopefully you can move up and fight some of the quicker guys. But still, today P13 on a PowerPoint presentation, nothing to sneeze at. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for that interview. And I'll turn back to the audience. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a very chaotic race, crazy race, and a deserved winner after that. Thank you so much for watching. If you're on Twitch, don't forget to follow and optionally subscribe. If you have Twitch Prime, might as well drop it. Why not? And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, follow us. There are 2 more races to go. I would love to show you the calendar. I will try. Yeah, it doesn't work. So hopefully next time I will have that fixed, and I will see you next time as well.